I've been asked again to do another Harry Potter book. I've already done a few of these, and the same person has asked me if I can do one of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a unique and bespoke cover on a book like this. All you need to do is measure from the edge of the spine there. I like to add 1/2 centimetre on to the width here. So I've got 12.5 centimetres width, and then going down here I've got 20 centimetres, and on that I'm going to add another 1/2 centimetre because that will give me a 1/4 centimetre top and bottom. And then I can cut 2 of those out, one for the back and one for the front. How I do the spine is really easy. I just measure that again like that, and then again add 1/2 centimetre on here. So I'll cut these out. Now I'm using a square here to do this. Then I get a sharp knife with a blade, and I will do this in a couple of strokes rather than doing it in one stroke, because that way you're less likely to mess it up and you're less likely to cut yourself. So now I've got all my bits cut out. I've got a bit of card here, and I'm not sure if you can see the line here. I've drawn a line across here that I know my bits of card need to go up against, and I've also drawn a gap here as well of 7mm either side of this where my spine will go. So I need to glue these on. All I'm using is white PVA glue to glue these on. This is going to be painted, so it doesn't need to be archival glue or anything like that, because it's not going to be showing through. So you'll see what I mean in a minute when I pop this one on where I've left a gap for my spine. And this won't take long to dry at all because it's card on paper, and PVA glues on here really well. Just make sure you line them up. Yep, that's all lined up. I'm happy with that. Put weight on that one. I'm happy with that. Weight on that one. And now I'm going to leave that for probably about an hour to dry. But while that's drying, I can get on with some other bits that are going to form part of this book. So I'm going to make this easy for myself because I'm going to use a mould for this. Now, I've got a few dragon moulds that I think will work. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, but I will use one of them. I'm going to model this in my own homemade paper clay. Now, you might think, well, that's a funny colour, and it is. And the reason it's a funny colour is because my egg boxes this time came in a funny colour. So this is the colour of the egg boxes. I'm not sure which eye I'm going to use yet. I'm going to use one of them. So I'm just going to push my paper clay into these moulds. Pushing quite firm because I want all the detail to come out. And then I will go over and smooth it out. Now, once this is dry, I can always sand it down a little bit if I want to. I'm going around all the edges with it because I may want to use these edges as well. If I don't, I can always cut them off with a knife once it's all nice and cured. Now, I'm not going to hang around waiting for this to cure naturally. I'm going to stick it in my curing box by resiners. Well, I've cut out a card what I think a goblet would look like. I'm not doing the same one as the movie, even though it says it has blue flames coming out of it. It will have blue flames in the book, so it will have blue flames on here. And also, it was made of wood in the book. I can't remember what it was made in the movie. So I'm going to try and make it look like wood. And I'm going to be using, again, my paper clay for this. Not sure I'm going to be able to do this or not, but we'll give it a go. Well, this is dry enough now for me to be able to trim it up and do the edges. What I'm going to do is reduce the amount of paper that I've got here so I don't have such a big turnover. And all I do is go round and do it the width of my ruler, because I find that that is enough. And now I use this little tool that I've got. I got this off the internet to trim up my corners, and that means I can have nice, neat corners when I fold them over. And it's just a case now of folding over my corners. You can use a bone folder for this as well. And then you've got a little overlap there, so I like to tuck that down and bring that across. I just use my nail. I push it down like that there, and then bring that across, and then that should line up with that. And then I can glue this down in exactly the same way and put some weights on it, and then that'll all be ready for me to do the rest of the book with. And by doing your folds first, it makes life so much easier when you're actually folding your paper over. So then this last piece, I just can pull over, and all, because I push those corners in, they're all nice and neat as well. And now I'm going to quickly go over this with my hands like that, pushing that down, and then again pop my weights on it for about half an hour. That's all that'll take before that's ready to glue onto the rest of the book. These are all dry now and got lovely and hard. They dry really well. I've decided to use this one, the larger one, and the actual cup to go there, or the goblet to go there, which I made. And it's got some bits in it to make it look a bit gnarly and wood-like. I want some 3D flames to come out of it. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to draw on here where I want those flames to come, the base of those flames, and then just draw some flames on here. And then I'm going to do some more at a different level. So I mark the same mark on there like that, and then do another level with some there, and then I'll glue them together. So I've got everything ready now, and it's time to paint. I love the painting, but I love all of it, really. I've decided that I'm going to do the background of the book cover white, well, grey, black grey, and some whites. The flame is going to be blue, and the dragon is going to be a reddish colour. So I thought just going over it like this with black and white would really make it look great. All I'm doing is dipping my brush in a little bit of white and a little bit of black, and then going over it and painting it on. For the goblet, what I'm going to do is use wood stain, because it's paper after all, so it should take on this wood stain quite well. I'm going to use a variety of different ones and pop them on like this all over, let it get into some of those grooves, let it dry, and then go over it again. And I'll do that a few times, both inside and out of it, before I attach the flames. And I think the flames will really set it off. I love the way this is coming up. Once it's dry, I'll put some wax on it as well, so it looks like it's been waxed, but I want it to look old and gnarly. And I finished painting the flames, and what I'm going to do is varnish them as well, and then glue them together. The dragon, I want to do quite red. So what I thought I'd do for this one is put a dark red on it to start with as a base colour, and then go over it with some different colours, because then I can pick out different bits. So if I put a really dark red on here to start with, again, this won't take long to dry, because obviously this is paper. And then I can do some dry brushing on it, put a bit of gold on it if I need to. Having this base colour will really help me. Well, it's all now ready, everything's dry, and it's all ready to put together. All I'm going to do is glue up my pages here, so I can stick those into my cover like that. And I'm going to be using quite a thick wood glue for this, because it needs to be a strong glue. And then I'll put some weights on. Again, it's not going to take too long to dry. What you got to be careful of is here that you don't spill it over onto the pages and you end up gluing your pages together. And go on, ask me how I know. So I'm putting a bit on the spine first, because that's got the weight to it. And now I can line that up on my spine on my jacket that I made. And now I can put the rest of the glue all over the original cover. This is just a thick PVA wood glue. I will link everything I've used in the description below, so don't worry if you think, oh, I can have a go at that, but I can't. Where do I get hold of it? And I'm going to put weight on that straight away to hold that down. And now I'm going to do the same with the other side. So the cover's all on now, and that's nearly dry. And if we look at the back of the book, there is some descriptions of the dragons. And the Chinese fireball is very much in the shape of the one that I've done here. And it's also scarlet, smooth scaled, and has a fringe of gold and spikes. So I've put some gold on it as well, and there is some red in it as well. So this is going to go here like that, and then the goblet, which I've done there, is going there, and then the writing will go on top and the bottom. I'm going to use a different glue for this one. I'm going to use this contact adhesive, because I think that's going to give me a much quicker and easier seal for this. Now this stuff does smell, so work in a well ventilated area if you're going to be using this. And I'm putting bits on the back of the paper clay. Now it's dry around, and this just dry fairly clear, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so I'm going to now pop that onto the book roughly where I want it, push it down, and that should leave some of that glue on there. Yep, and now I can put some more glue on these bits here where I know that the dragon's going to stick, and then I can let those bits dry. And then when I push them together, they will have a really good bond. Okay, and I'm going to let those bits dry now for a little while. Probably about 5 or 10 minutes. And then when I put them together, they'll stick really well. And I'm going to do the same with the goblet. Well, finished putting it all together. I'm really pleased with how it's come out. And the inside looks great, because I always use the inside cover of the book. Didn't manage to glue any of the pages together, which was great. There we go, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. We've got the Goblet of Fire and the dragon, one of the dragons that's described in the book. The back cover I haven't done anything with, and the spine, I've just put Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on it. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I've really enjoyed making this. I do love making these books. So simple and easy to do, doesn't take long at all. Be sure to check out the video that I've got coming up next above, because that's another one of these. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.